Hey gang, this is Ryan Cozy with the Chapel at Crosspoint. I hope and pray that everybody's doing well. Just wanted to give a brief update in regard to Renovation Network and some of the really exciting things that are going on in and throughout the network. First off, I'd love to share with you, this week we have actually finished here at the Chapel at Crosspoint an executive summary of a comparison of our missional behavior between year 1 and year 2, the years 2010 and 2011 for the chapel. And I had mentioned briefly, maybe a week or two ago, that I've been blessed to have a couple of volunteers helping me out over the past few weeks in putting this executive summary together. One is a friend and a lawyer from the University at Buffalo who kind of specializes in doing executive summaries. And in addition to that, I had mentioned the help of a volunteer by the name of Jesse Poley, who is helping to serve Renovation Network by just doing a number of tasks associated with getting data collected and putting it into a digestible format, so that when you all want to do the missional behavior survey, I'm not just sending you these huge outputs and then walking you through step by step. I'm trying to make it so that these reports are digestible and understandable for regular everyday people. And so I just want to say thank you so much to both to Jesse and to Anna. And I'm looking forward to this perhaps being a blueprint for how we go about doing reports as we go further with other churches in the missional behavior survey within Renovation Network. As the chapel presents these findings, I know last year we put out a video that detailed some of the highlights of what it is that we've done here at the chapel and that our people have done when it comes to presence and proclamation and conversion in relation to spiritual formation. And we'll likely do that again this year, but we'll also have these reports. And so as we're able to release those to you all, just to give you a taste and a look at what's going on in our context, if it would bless you, and even if it helps to help set up reports that way for you all going forward, that's something we're looking forward to potentially being able to do when churches ask those hard questions about what's really going on as it relates to the lostness of the geography that you're situated in and how your people are engaging those lost people. Secondarily, one thing I'm really excited about is the GO project out of Gurnee, Illinois, the north suburbs of Chicago. Dan Warehouser, a number of other folks that I've mentioned in the past, have really been taking a really cool approach to giving every man, every woman, and every child the opportunity to hear, see, and respond to the gospel in Gurnee. And as they have endeavored to do that, the reality is a number of other cities and contexts have been looking at the GO project, and they've just said to themselves, what if we did that in our context? And so a very exciting thing for me, for the first time within Renovation Network, we believe that we will have a pilot group like the GO project for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dolph Lario and his team down there of churches that have come together, he helps to host and facilitate not only one but a handful of renovation communities in the greater Philadelphia area. And what I'm excited about is Dan is actually going to be flying out from Chicago to spend some time with Dolph and some of their leaders and just talk about the story of Gurnee and how they got everything going. And in addition to that, and this is what I'm really thankful for, is the Gurnee folks have been unbelievable to live with open hands and just say, whatever it is that we're doing, if it blesses you in your context, go for it, do it. However we can serve you, we want that to happen. And what gets me excited about that is we're starting to see a couple of different key demographies that are very different start to say, what if we really did this? What if we endeavored to do this? And what if we began to really track it at a level that really breaks it down neighborhood by neighborhood, street by street? And so thanks to Dan and to the team from Gurnee who is going to be visiting Dolph and helping out. I'm super excited for their partnership. I've loved being able to help them in any way that I can, and I love the idea that they're able to give back and help in the Philadelphia context with Dolph and the groups of renovation communities that have been doing renovation for a while in the Philadelphia area. The final thing that I wanted to say that I'm really excited about, and this is yet another demography of really cool things happening, is in relation to Mission Carolina specifically, when we talk about North Carolina and South Carolina. Jason Malone and Jeff Shipman, as I understand it, have been a part to endeavor to get a bunch of churches to, in those contexts, to start really thinking about the saturation of the gospel in key cities throughout that area of the United States. And Jeff had recently sent me a listing of some of the prospectus of things that they're trying to accomplish. And what they've done is they've begun to target 7 different areas within that 2-state region. And I want to list them for you, and I want to ask you to pray for these places. And if you have questions in how they're engaging this idea, whether it's in Gurnee, whether it's in Philadelphia, or whether it's in Carolina, gang, this is my hope and my desire is that you all would want to endeavor to ask them, how are you doing this? Asking these questions, learning from one another. But I want to close, and I want to ask you to pray for the following regions in the Carolinas: Columbia, Greenville, Charleston, Coastal Myrtle Beach, Aiken, Metrolina, and Asheville. Those are the areas that Jeff and I believe Jason and others feel like God has put a burden on them to want to begin to strategically go after and pray over and just ask questions as it relates to those cities and those regions. And I just want to say thank you to Jeff for sending that information along. And I believe that these 3 examples alone, whether it's Gurnee, whether it's Philadelphia, whether it's Carolina, I believe that these are the case studies that we need to begin to learn from and to develop from, asking questions, looking at how it is that we're impacting our geographies. And so I just ask that you pray for those areas. God bless you, gang. I know this was a little bit of a longer update, but it's been a while. I'm just back from vacation, and I wanted to catch up with y'all, just give you an update on some of the things that we see happening in and throughout Renovation Network. God bless you, gang.